If you're in B2B sales, you might be very well aware of this problem, wherein, say, on a daily basis, you might be getting hundreds of emails, hundreds of inbound leads, and your team spends hours just qualifying who's the person who's actually worth talking to and taking forward into the funnel. Because what happens is, for whatever inbound leads that you might be getting, the basic or the bare minimum information that your sales team gets is the company name and the designation of your prospect. And this is not enough to qualify them. What if I told you that you could automate that entire first conversation? In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an AI calling agent using a platform called as VAPI that can qualify leads, ask the right questions, and even nurture them before your sales team steps in. Now, we are covering a very important use case over here wherein we are considering that we are a B2B software company and we want an AI agent that can call new leads, understand their requirements, filter serious prospects, and pushes only the qualified ones to your sales team. So let's quickly dive into VAPI. Now, when you log into VAPI for the first time, it looks something like this, wherein you have a complete dashboard wherein you will already have one agent that is created for you. And on the left hand side, as you can see, there are multiple tasks that you can do wherein you can start by creating an AI assistant. Now, when you are initially creating an AI assistant, the most important thing is for you to define a use case for that agent. That is a purpose. Now, in our case, what we are doing is we are taking a lead qualification specialist as one of the use cases, wherein we want that agent to call the lead, qualify it, nurture it. So Morgan over here is our AI agent that we have built. And we need to configure various things in this model, wherein we start with configuring the AI model that we are going to use, wherein we have multiple providers that we can select from and the models within them. Then comes that who is it that we want to start the conversation with, wherein we want, say, the assistant to start first or we want the user to start first. Now, since this is going to be sort of a cold call that will be going out to a prospect who has put in an inquiry, we want the assistant to start with the introduction. And that's wherein what we are doing is we are defining the first message. Now, ideally, the way we design calling scripts for our SDR teams to do the outbound calls is similarly what we're going to define over here, but in depth. Wherein, if you see in the system prompt over here, what we are starting with is giving an identity and purpose to the agent, explaining what is it that they have to do. Then we are defining what is the voice and persona and the tone that they need to speak in. So, should it sound friendly, authoritative, consultative? That is exactly what we are defining in this part. At the same time, similar to the way we design a calling script, we have an entire conversation flow that we have built over here, starting with the introduction as to how should the intro be, what should be the next exploratory or discovery questions that the agent can ask. In terms of, say, certain use cases, how can it align solutions? For qualification, what are the questions that it should ask and what is the data that we require is also something that we can ensure that is integrated over here. In terms of, say, the response guidelines, we can define different scenarios as to for very interested leads who might be, say, busy, like, say, for example, if I'm getting a response over call that, hey, I'm busy, just call me in 2 hours, then it should respond accordingly. If, say, for example, the lead is quite hesitant after listening to your pitch, then there should be a different response for that. If a lead is very much interested and wants to gather more information, then the response for that becomes different. So this is how we are defining different scenarios and ensuring that the agent is capable to deal with any and every possibility of responses. Finally, to ensure that it has the right information and it communicates the right information to the prospects, we have given it a knowledge base. Now you can either write up the knowledge base over here, that's the company brief, the ICP, the competitor details or any other information over here, or you can even attach documents like a deck or FAQs over here. And in the end, we are giving it input in terms of how can it refine the responses as well. So this is about the model. Next, when we talk about the voice configuration, the most interesting thing over here is we can use either the AI voice or we can even create custom voice, that is our own voice, and have that trained to speak. In terms of, say, the additional configuration, we can tell that, okay, at what pace or what speed should the voice agent speak? Should it be slow, moderate, fast? That is what we can mention over here. Now, the interesting thing over here is oftentimes an AI agent might do, say, an automated call and it may not feel conversational, but the thing over here is very different. It is conversational because we have given it that guidelines. But there's still a gap. Say, for example, if as a prospect I tell that, hey, please send across a meeting invite for 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Will that AI agent be able to send that request or that calendar invite or not is what we are going to see over here. So we can do that by using tools or building tools over here. Wherein, for example, if I just click on create tools over here, what all options do I have in terms of the tasks that the agent can do? Is one, in terms of say the calendar itself, it can check the availability of the SDR team and it can send the invite. It can write down the information in Google Sheets. It can send Slack notifications. See, for example, at any given point of time, I want that my sales team should step in. Then I can transfer that call. I can give that handover. I can ensure that a custom tool is also created for doing say any calculations or checking any further details that are requested. So this is the capability of adding a tool onto the AI agent. Now that say for example we have completed the entire setup of this particular agent, what we can also do is we can set up test use cases. So if I click on the play button over here, as you can see there's the test assistant. Now wherein I can add say a assistant over here, I can click on run test and it will run a particular test in a conversation format. What we can also do is to try out the accuracy of this model. We can directly start a talk or we can start a call with them. So what I'm going to do is I'll now quickly start with a test that will show you the capability of this particular agent. What I want you guys to observe in terms of this agent is the way it communicates, the way it manages the responses, and the way it asks the structured questions as well. So we'll quickly start with the test.
Hello, this is Morgan from Growth Partners. We help businesses improve their operational efficiency through custom software solutions. Do you have a few minutes to chat about how we might be able to help your business?
Sure. Can you make it quick? I have a hard stop in 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Um, I'll keep this brief. Could you tell me a bit about your business and the industry you operate in? That'll help me focus on what's most relevant for you.
Sure. So I work in the consulting space and we primarily help companies with GTM motions.
Thanks for sharing that. You're in consulting, focused on go-to-market strategies. That's helpful. What systems or processes are you currently using to manage your client projects and internal workflows?
So we use certain automation platforms like Anytime, and we have our internal systems like Slack for communication.
That makes sense. Using Enrington for automation and Slack for communication. What would you say are the biggest challenges you're facing with your current setup, especially as your business grows?
So in terms of scale, we see that there is a gap in terms of understanding, or rather, there is a gap in terms of, say, the execution, wherein we want to achieve scale, but the limits come in terms of the credit usage for those tools that we are having in place.
That's a great point. You're seeing scaling challenges, especially due to tool credit limits. How is this impacting your business operations or client delivery right now?
There is not much challenge because again we can purchase credits, but it's a higher spend for us. So if we had say a solution in house, then that would make more sense.
I understand exactly what you mean. The main issue is that continuously purchasing credits increases your costs, and having an in-house solution might be more cost-effective long term. Have you previously explored or tried building or implementing other solutions to handle this? If so, what was your experience?
No, we haven't.
Thanks for clarifying. Based on what you've shared, our Operations OS platform could help by automating your workflows without the recurring credit costs, since it's a customizable in-house solution. Would you be open to a quick follow-up call with one of our specialists who can walk you through how this could work for your specific needs? I can suggest a couple of times if that helps.
Yeah, sure. If you can suggest a couple of slots.
Great, thank you. Would you be available for a 30-minute call tomorrow at 11 a.m., or would Thursday at 2 p.m. work better for you? If neither
11
works,
a.m.
just
tomorrow
let me know.
works.
Perfect. I've scheduled you for tomorrow at 11 a.m. You'll get a calendar invite shortly with the details. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to having our specialist walk you through how Operations OS could help your team scale more efficiently. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you as well. I appreciate your time today. Looking forward to our call tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
So that is how this particular agent works, and this is just one of the use cases that we wanted to do. Now you can extend this to follow-ups, appointment booking, customer onboarding, and if you're building, say, outbound or inbound sales systems, then AI calling agents like this can completely transform your funnel. And if you want a deeper breakdown of this exact workflow, feel free to reach out to us. I've added email ID in the description below. And thank you so much for watching this one.